Hi, my name is Monika and I live in Sheffield. Today I'm going to tell you my own story on how I'm overcoming adversity. Adversity is something that you go through in life that is intensely difficult. An intense hardship or a challenge. Poverty, a family crisis, a physical illness like cancer are all examples of adversity that people encounter every day. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you about another example of adversity that I have experienced in my own life. I grew up in Southern California. My parents divorced when I was 3 years old, and I basically grew up with my mother and my grandmother. My mother struggled with her own mental health issues, which made her incapable of meeting my needs as a child and allowed me to be vulnerable to being exploited by others. Starting around 5 years of age, I was sexually abused by my step-grandfather and a much older teenage friend. I felt betrayed, ashamed, disgusting, bad, and abandoned. I believed that I somehow deserved it because I was a bad child. I felt like nobody was around to protect me, and it was my job to take care of myself and everyone else. I felt worthless, unlovable, and damaged. I thought I could never trust anyone again, and that nobody could ever truly love me if they knew what happened. I was convinced that my only worth in life was to take care of everyone else, otherwise I was just wasted space and a burden. I felt like this for years and years, feeling alone and abandoned. Like no one could possibly understand the hurt I was going through. I had stuffed all of my abuse memories so far down in my brain that I basically lived like I was an empty shell, doing what others wanted of me rather than living with deep purpose and passion coming from within. I felt that if I could just throw myself into achieving more, being perfect, and never making mistakes, that I could just live with a mask on to fool everyone that I was just fine. But I could only keep this mask up for so long. And eventually, everything came crashing down and I reached out for help. I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress disorder and finally had no choice but to open a Pandora's box and deal with the issues the abuse had left behind. I have been in therapy now for 4 years with my 2 therapists, and I have been on medication for anxiety and depression. With the support, care, and love of my therapist, my husband, and several friends who have stayed with me through my yuck, I've begun to see that I am worthy of love. I'm not a burden, and I can trust the right people. It's not a linear process, it's a spiral. Continually revisiting those things I still haven't come to terms with. But I've learned to trust the process and to find hope in the progress that I've made. Now I want to talk to you all directly. I want to give you encouragement today. If you are feeling afraid that nobody will believe you, or if you feel alone in your shame and don't think there's any hope for you to ever feel loved or to just feel okay, I promise that's not true. Finding the right therapist and support is crucial. It may take a few tries, but when you find the right therapist, you will know, because you'll feel a sense of safety and security that you've never felt before. Don't let anyone discourage you from getting help. You deserve it. You matter. Your trauma matters. Those who deserve to be in your life will believe you and support you on your journey. It's not an easy road, but it's the greatest journey you will ever take. From the bottom of my heart, I want you to know that you are worth it.
Aruka Worth videos are generously funded in part by the Women Inspired Network, a section of the Starved Rock Country Community Foundation.